And then exhaling all the air out. If you're aware of any kind of places of holding or tension, feel that leave on the exhale. I'm going to take 2 more breaths here. And last one. Okay, now from there, come up onto the hands and knees and just allow yourself to come forwards and back a few times. So from that all fours position, just a little bit of movement one way and then the other, forwards and back. Okay, keep the fingers spread wide on the hands and then stop and go side to side. So just go to outer wrist, outer wrist. Okay, and if you want to make more of a circular movement now, start to come forward and then bring the weight of the pelvis back. And perhaps moving around the shoulders, get the sort of head involved. If you feel a little spot of tension, you can hold there for a moment and then slowly ease your way out of that and then go back into those sort of bigger movements, and then we'll change direction. You can always come right forward, almost like you're coming into a bit of an up dog, and just sway a bit side to side. Okay, and then start. We'll move through a few cat-cows here. So inhale, allow the chin to lift with the tailbone. As you exhale, move more from the belly. So navel to spine, tuck your chin down, round the back. And again, breathing in to look up. Exhale to round. One more. And exhale. Now you can either carry on with that movement or you can add in Abhisara. It's a really nice breath to do in the morning, so it's quite a cleansing breath. You'll have done it with me before at some point, but I'll just go through, I'll talk you through it and I'll show you, because it's quite hard to talk and do the movement at the same time. This is where we breathe all the air out, and at the end of that breath, you don't breathe. What you do is you suck your belly in, you hold that for a moment. Obviously when you need to breathe, you breathe. That brings the belly back down. It's this really kind of cleansing way of bringing the tummy right up into where the diaphragm is. And then you take that breath in, okay? So I'll show you one round and kind of watch my belly a little bit. So you'll see my belly kind of suck up towards my rib cage, hopefully. I'm hoping you've not had a big breakfast this morning, because if you have, it makes it harder to do, obviously, when there's food in there, okay? So we inhale, we move through cat to dog. Big breath in. And then the breath goes in, and then we exhale. So I don't know if you can see, it kind of hollows out your belly a little bit because you suck it right up into where the lower part of the rib cage where the diaphragm is. So I'll talk you through a couple of rounds. We'll do about 6 rounds, okay? Inhale first. Feel like you're coming into your sort of cat stretch where we tilt the pelvis forward, look up. Breathe the air out quite forcefully. So it's a round your back, don't breathe, tuck your chin, suck your belly in, and lift into downward facing dog. So if you keep your chin down, you're less likely to take another breath in. Chin is down, the breath is out, the belly's sucked in, and then we inhale. You'll feel that you need to breathe around about this point. Big breath in, and then exhale all the air out. Going to do a couple more. So we inhale, exhale that big, round your back, no breath, suck your belly in, chin to chest. Holding the belly in, you're in downward facing dog. You can move a little bit individually, sort of walk the feet out, maybe move the hips a bit side to side. That helps you to get in a little bit more. Okay, and then when you need to inhale, the knees come back down, you just come back into that all fours position, okay. Let's do a couple more with me talking you through it, and then we'll get you to do a couple on your own. So we inhale, exhale, round, chin down, suck your belly in. Lifting into downward facing dog with the tummy drawn in, navel right to the spine. You should feel that kind of hollowing out of the belly. Inhaling when you're ready, bringing the knees back down. Okay, and then we'll do one more on your own. So big breath in, exhale to round. Come back into downward facing dog. Now you're going to stay in downward facing dog from here. Okay, and again, when you need to breathe, stay in down dog and just take that nice big breath in. Exhaling all the air out, but stay there in downward facing dog. And so fingers spread wide, straighten the arms. Don't feel that you're locking them, but you're very strong through the arms. You can start to push back a little bit more. Think of it this way, that you're giving the weight of the pelvis back towards the legs. Start to draw the heels down. As you do that, strengthen the legs a bit more by feeling like you're lifting the knees, lifting the thighs. Holding here, 5 deep breaths. Good. Okay. Everyone's in. All right, now from there, bring the feet back up or bring the feet towards the hands. Come back to the top of the mat. Welcome to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift the chest away from the thighs, and then we exhale to fold. Feet about hip distance apart. And looking back through the legs, draw the crown of the head down. You bend your knees as much as you need to get into this position. And looking back, crown of the head draws down. Just soften the shoulders from here. Either stay with the hands down. You could catch hold of your hands, interlace the fingers at your lower back, and then reach the arms towards the back of the head. You can always rock a little bit side to side, like you would in a pendulum pose, just releasing any tension there around the back of the legs, but also around the chest and the shoulders. Okay, now bring your hands down from here. If you've got a block or a book handy, just bring that block and place it in front of your left foot. So we're still in this forward fold. Your hand wants to go on your block, and if possible, we're using the block so you can have your palm down, so your fingers are spread nice and wide, your left knee is slightly bent. Keep that right leg straight, but try not to drop the weight back into that heel too much. So we'll lift up through the arch. Take your right hand to your right hip, start to turn the torso towards the right. So we're starting to sweep this, also this right hip back. Big breath in. If you want to bring the right arm up, you can. Maybe turn that gaze to look towards the hand. You can always just roll any tension out of the wrist. Change direction of those circles. Good. Now press down quite firmly to the left hand. Deep breath in. Exhale, see if you can turn a little bit more. Okay, and then bring hand back down. You're going to take the block and bring it over to the other side. Hand goes on there again, fingers spread wide, press the hand into the block, bend your right knee, start to turn towards the left. Going the left hip back so you can turn the rib cage a bit more to face up. Big breath in, lift the left arm up, and again if you want to make those little circles around the hands. Okay, sweeping the left hip back, press down really firm with that right hand now. Okay, and then release from there. Now either use the block to sit on for Malasana if you struggle with this one. Otherwise you could bring that now and bring it out of the way. Take your feet quite wide, about as wide as your mat, slightly turned out with the toes. Take the elbows into the inner part of the inner crease of the knee joint, and either stay hovered, come onto your block, or come down a bit lower with the pelvis where you're hovering away from the floor. So we don't want to drop too much here and sort of drop into the joints. It's a nice big breath in, lift the chest, draw the shoulder blades back, shoulder blades a little bit towards each other and down the back. So you're pressing out with the elbows into the inner thighs, we're not pushing in, okay. Okay, now to stay here, if you want to challenge yourself a little bit, your right hand now wants to come down to the floor, so just to the inside of that right knee, and then take the left arm up. Draw that arm back, either look forward or take your gaze towards the left hand. Okay, and then come back to the center, big breath in. And exhale. Opposite side. Okay. Okay, and then bring left hand down, right arm up. Okay, and then come back to center. Nice big breath in here. I know it's getting really strong now. And exhale, bring the hands down. Use your hands just to lift the pelvis back up. Bring your feet more in line with your hips now, so they're more facing forward. Inhale, lift the chest away from the side, and then exhale to fold. Just releasing the back of the head, lower back of the leg. Okay, make sure you lift the tummy here, just a little bend in the knees. Really press into your feet, press your feet away from each other, and then very slowly come up to stand. All the way up, roll the head back, roll the shoulders back. And from the top of the mat, feet in line with the pelvis, in line with the hips. Bring the hands back into that prayer position and stand tall. You're going to close the eyes here for a moment and just feel your way into Tadasana. Or at least kind of soften the gaze in front of you. Deep breath in. Exhaling all the air out. And again, big breath in. And exhale. Okay, bring the hands down by the sides. If you've not got lots of space either side of you, just go straight forward with the arms here. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, slight bend in the knees, and we're going to fold. Fold in half, look back to you. Inhale, lift the chest. Take a step back with both feet. Come forward into a high plank position. Okay, then place your knees down, knees under hips, and we'll come into Anahata. So walking the hands forward. You can always fold your arms here. Either come onto the chin or forehead. Optional to come up onto the fingertips again and feel like you're trying to drag the hands back. So that will intensify that stretch around the chest. 2 more breaths. Okay, now place those elbows down and you're just going to inhale forward into a forearm plank position. Squeeze the leg, little tuck of the tailbone there, so you shouldn't have the pelvis up in the air. Want to come more into a straight line if possible. Draw the shoulder blades, feel like you're dragging the hands back, so shoulder blades move down. Okay, and then we just allow your body to lower down. Bring your hands under your shoulders for this one. Take your feet about as wide as the hips and point your toes and really squeeze your thighs so you feel your legs switch on and there's lots of weight in the pelvis. And then just inhale and come up as high as you feel comfortable. Coming up. Tuck your toes now, fingers spread wide, and then we'll exhale back. Downward facing dog. And again, if you just need to create a little bit of movement in down dog, perhaps walk the feet out. Hold in here and taking 5 breaths. Okay, the ends of the exhale. Forward. Light me up. Or jump the feet down. And breathe. Light me up. Okay, then inhale, lift the chest. Breathe. Exhale to fold, chest to thighs. Inhale, reach the arms up, big breath in. So that's the side, bring the arms straight up and exhale, hands to heart. Go a little bit wider with your feet, so that hip distance. And then bend your knees and lower your hips. Come into Utkatasana. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, sit back and down. And then sweep your hands back so you get quite low. Your chest is sort of skimming your thighs. Inhale, reach. Exhale, extend the fingertips back behind you so the chest is full. One more, inhale. And exhale. Now hold here. Either keep the hands back or find your fingers and lift the chest. So you're still in your chair pose, trying to sit back and down. Pressing the feet away from each other. Shoulder blades draw in. Okay, then inhale, really drive into those heels. Exhale, fold, chest to thighs from here, arms reaching towards the back of your head. Okay, hands come down. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, walk or jump. Feet back. Come forward into your high plank again. And allow the knees to come down. Anahata Asana. Okay, now we just stay here with the arms reaching forward, or walk your hands back. You've still got your knees under your hips. You're going to take your right arm in front and then cross your left arm in front of that one. Okay, so you're kind of crisscrossed at the elbows. And then see if you can walk the hands a bit further away from each other. You should find you're able to rest your sort of chin on your arms. And then once you're at your furthest place with the hands walking away from each other, see if you can bring the weight of the pelvis back towards the heels. So you can always stay forward. You can always take the hands and wrap them so you're touching your shoulder blades. That is not as intense if you take the hands there, but if you keep them on the floor and slide them away from each other, it does intensify this stretch. All around the deltoids. One more breath. Okay, now walk the hands back, unravel for a moment, and then we'll go the opposite way there. So left arm in front, and then right arm. And into that one, walking the fingers again away, find that place where you can rest your chin, start forward, and then you can start to ease the weight of your hips back, pelvis back. I promise you one side is probably going to feel a lot more intense than the other. Make sure you don't hold the breath.
Light me up and breathe. Light me up, breathe.
Sorry, I don't know why that music's gone so loud. Okay, take 2 more breaths while I try and work out what's going on. Okay, and then from there, uncross the arms. From here, reach the arms forward, so you're going to come back into Anahata. From there, arms stretch forward. Okay, and then we'll come into that forearm plank. Bring that elbows down, come forward. Okay, now allow yourself to come down towards the floor. Bring the hands back a little bit, just slightly behind the shoulders. Point the toes again. Inhale, start to lengthen up through the arms, lift in the chest, draw the shoulders back. Really feel that you're trying to open around the chest and bring that forward. If you're off the knees, you can really squeeze your thighs there and lift the lower belly. And then we tuck the toes, exhale back, downward facing dog. Okay, and down dog, bring your feet a little bit closer together, and then inhale, lift the right leg up behind you. As you lift the right leg up, also squeeze your left thigh, so you're really strong and stable in that thigh. Okay, big breath in. Exhale, bring this right knee forward towards the collarbone, so you're coming forward as well. And then place that foot to the inside of the right thumb. Come onto your left knee. Both hands are framing the right foot, lift the chest. Leaning into the front of that left thigh. Okay, now keep your left hand down, inhale and take the right arm up. Okay, and then when you're ready to breathe in again, we're going to come back forward, but reach that right arm forward, so you're facing forward, and then exhale, sweep the right hand back, taking that leg as straight as it'll go. Inhale, come forward, so just 2 more times, and then exhale, sweep back. One more, big breath in. So kind of use the arm to guide you a little bit here as you exhale. We'll keep that arm back. You can bring your left hand onto a block, so it could be a little bit further back, or you can walk that hand as far forward as it'll go. Now see if you can bow your chest a little bit closer towards the floor, towards the mat, and draw the right toes back. Okay, I'm going to sweep that arm back forward. Now come off your back left knee and just reach into that heel so you get a nice big stretch in that leg. Okay, and then turn your back heel down. Feel like your feet are moving away from each other, so you're really strong and stable. Inhale, rise, warrior one. Big breath in as you bend into that right leg. So you can go a little bit deeper, but keep the body quite level. Reach up through the fingertips, lift the lower belly. Okay, and then just separate your hands. Come on to more of an incline with the upper body. Breathe in. Exhale, sweep the hands by the pelvis. And again, inhale to rise. So just coming back through that Virabhadrasana Ekam Warrior One. Exhale, come out, incline first, and then sweep the hands back. Is it lovely? One more. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, place your hands down from there. Step back. Come back into your high plank. Okay, for this one, we'll bring the knees down, lower down. So just folding down. Keep those shoulders back. Again, point the toes. Inhale, lift the chest. You can always come into cobra or sphinx pose if up dog doesn't work. And then exhale back, downward facing dog. Feet a bit closer together. Inhale the left leg up. So as you lift that left leg, strengthen the right. You're lifting the right thigh. Okay, deep breath in. Exhale, bring the knee forward towards the chest. And then place your left foot to the inside of the left thumb. Go onto your right knee. Hold here for a moment, just checking that left knee's in line with the ankle. You can always rock a bit side to side, just opening up into the front of that left thigh. Right thigh. Keep your right hand down. Inhale, take the left arm up. Throwing that arm back as you exhale. Okay, inhale. Sweep that arm straight forward, so you're facing forward, and then use that hand to draw you back, taking that left leg as straight as it'll go. And again, 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. One more. We're going to hold here. So if you need to bring this right hand back, floral block, or you can walk that hand forward, but keep reaching back for your left fingers and lower your chest a bit closer towards that left thigh. Draw your left toes back. Make sure you draw navel to spine. You breathe out. Okay, we're going to come back forward now. Both hands to frame the left foot and come off the right knee. Reaching back into that heel just so you get a nice big stretch. Okay, and then turn back heel down. In a slight angle with that back foot. Feel like your feet are moving away from each other. Notice how that really powers up and strengthens the legs. And then we can inhale. Bring the arms up. Exhale, bend into that left leg. Really press into your left heel here. Okay, and then separate the hands. We'll come onto that incline first, and then sweep the arms back. Inhale to rise. Exhale to lower. One more. Inhale to rise. And exhale. And inhale, come back up. Hello. Okay, and then exhale, not through me. Bring the hands down and step back. Inhale to come forward. Now, if you want to add in chaturanga, you can lower here and hover. You can put the knees down, fold, whatever you need to do. If you've got anything going on with your shoulders, sometimes it is worth avoiding chaturanga. So don't feel that you have to do that. There's so many other options. You're going to hold downward facing dog and take 3 deep breaths. Okay, and last one. Legs nice and strong. Remember your lifted thighs. Okay, now bring the feet a bit closer together, still from down dog. Inhale the right leg, so back to that right side, you're lifting that leg up. Now lift your left heel, so you're still keeping that leg nice and strong. Breathing in. Lift your right leg a bit high, but really draw the tummy in. So we're not interested in the pelvis coming forward like that. We're keeping that nice straight line, like an arrow, and then come forward with that knee. Inhale, extend that leg back. Exhale, come forward. One more. So you're coming forward as well there, so coming more into a plank position. Exhale, hold. Okay, now place that foot to the inside of the right thumb. Pop your back heel down. Come back into a warrior one. Rising up. Bending into that right knee. Good. Now just come off your back heel. So you're in more of a high lunge position. You can always bring the hands down and go into a low lunge, but your back heel is lifted. You're going to bend a little bit more into that right leg. So you should be able to sink a little bit deeper there. Just check your pelvis is lined up. Both hip bones are level. Reach back into that left heel. Stay here. If you're really wobbly, stay here. Otherwise, inhale, lift. Now turn towards the right. And that turn isn't coming from the shoulders, it's coming from the waist. Hold here, or lift the left arm up and see if you can tap the back of your left thigh with your right hand. Lift that arm a bit higher. Spin that left little finger in and reach. Good. Now almost like a bit of a cartwheel where we spiral the arms down. Your left hand comes down, your right arm reaches forward. Breathe in. Exhale, sweep that arm back. And you're straightening that right leg. 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more. And exhale. Okay, now place both hands to frame your right foot. Place that foot down. Step your back foot in just a few inches. Hands on blocks here if you need to, or bend that right knee if you need to, okay? Otherwise, we'll inhale, lift the chest, draw the right hip back, left hip forward, really squeeze the thighs. Stay here with quite a flat spine, or we start to fold towards that right leg. Just lifting the thighs. Relax the shoulders and breathe. 3 more breaths. Okay, lovely. Soften that right front knee. Step back with your left foot. So go a little bit into that low lunge, and then we'll step back from there. Inhale to come forward. Exhale, lower. Don't go too low. Elbows a little bit. They're not squeezing in. There's a gap, like a golf ball between the elbows and the rib cage, golf ball size. And then we exhale back. Downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up. Lift your right heel, but squeeze your right thigh. Breathing in. Exhale, knee comes in. Inhale, extend that leg long. Now when you drag the knee in, try and do that from the belly. So really squeeze the belly and use that to guide that knee in. 1 more, inhale. And exhale. Okay, place the foot between, or to the inside of the thumb. Turn the back heel down. Inhale, warrior one. And then we'll spin off that back heel. Separate the hands, keep reaching up and see if you can bend a little bit more into that left leg. Reaching back into that right heel, so make sure that that leg's got some energy. Pelvis level. Again, either stay here or we can inhale, lift. Exhale, turn to the left. And again, that turn is coming more from the waist. Drawing the left hand back, right hand forward. You can stay here, or we can start to lift the right arm up. Lift out of your lower back. See if you can tap the back of your right thigh with your left hand. Okay, I'm going to spiral the arms around. So as you come down, just the right hand stays down, and then we sweep that left arm back, left leg straight. 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more. Exhale. Okay, from there, bring that hand down, place your left foot down, step your back foot in a few inches, hands on floor or blocks. Breathe in, lift the chest, draw the left hip back, right hip forward, stay in there, or exhale, and go a little bit deeper. So the movement with the pelvis here is that hinge movement again. It feels like you're trying to reach your sitting bones up. At the same time, to complete that movement, lift the thighs and lift the lower belly. Keep the rib cage tucked, so not slowing the rib cage. 2 more breaths, you're nearly there. Okay, have a little bend now in that left knee, so you can step the right leg back, come into that low lunge, and then we'll step back from there. Inhale, so knees down if you prefer, lowering down. Inhale, we can come into cobra, up dog. And then exhale back. Downward facing dog. 5 breaths here, and then we're going to come forward. So 5 deep breaths, feet hip distance apart. Look back to your toes, see if you can spread them nice and wide. And lift the toes as you do that. So you drop a bit of weight more into the sort of ball part of the foot. Look to the arches of your feet, place the toes back down when you're ready. 3 more breaths. Okay, the end of the exhale, I'm going to walk or lightly jump the feet forward. So come to the end of the breath, look forward, and then hop or jump up on that empty breath. That's it. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale to fold. Go a little bit wider with your feet, so just a bit wider than your hips. We can either come back where we've got the left hand down on the floor or block, and we turn, or we can add in a little bit of a bind now. So this left arm wants to go under the back of the left side. Bend your knees at this point if you're doing this one. Okay, so bend both knees. As you come around, that left hand, the palm of the hand faces out. So we just turn the palm to face out, sweep the arm around, and rest the hand on the back of the hip. And then either stay there or start to open back up in that bind. So this is where you're trying to take that right leg back to straight and then lift that right arm up. So just like what we were doing before, but a little bit harder. And then you could take your right hand and sweep it around. Keep the knees bent, so you're more in a chair pose. Good. You can find your right, it's your right hand that's coming around, that's it. And then maybe straighten the legs from there. So you've got all these different options there. You can keep the knees bent, you can straighten the legs with or without the bind. Okay, and then release. We'll go to the opposite side. So hand on block or floor, right hand, right knee bends and come into this one with the left leg straight. Or we can start to soften both knees and take that right arm under, palm faces out. The more you can get that hand up at the back of the hip, the better. Stay there. Or bend your knees, clasp, stay there, or have a go at straightening. Still turning, so straightening and turning. Okay, sweeping that left hip back wherever you are, left hip swings back. Okay, and release on there. Just catch hold of the elbows, gently rock thighs to side. Okay, bring the feet a little bit closer together, roll up to stand. Big breath in as you reach the arms up. Palms together, exhale. Hands down, feet more in line with the hips now. Bend your knees, lower your hips. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lift the chest. Walk or jump your feet back, whatever your preference is. Come forward, lowering down. Again, use the knees if you want. Inhale to lift. Exhaling back. Downward facing dog. Feet a little bit closer together. Inhale the right leg up. And we're going to lift that left heel. So left heel's drawing away from the floor. Strong left leg. Big breath in when you're ready. And then exhale, bring that foot to the inside of the right thumb. Stay off your back heel now, so you're in that low lunge. Stay there, or come into a high lunge. So when you're bending quite firmly into that right leg, lift the lower belly. Stay here, a big breath in. Exhale, open up to the right. If you want to lift and lean back, you're lifting the left arm, is it good? And then we use that and we spiral around and we sweep that right hand back. So it's kind of been led with that right hand now. Now come back forward, bend your right knee, come back up, breathe in. Exhale, turn to the right. Inhale, left arm goes up. And then you exhale, that right arm now comes forward, you're bending the right knee and then you sweep back, right leg straight. Go once more, inhale. Exhale, turning to the right, good. Inhale, lean, lift back. There's so many rights and lefts going on here, isn't there? And then we come around, and then you sweep back. Right leg straight. Okay, now bring that hand forward, right hand, and take it to the inside of your right foot, and just heel toe your right foot over so it goes towards the edge of the mat. Rock forwards and back. Do a little side to side. We're going to go a little bit lower now, so we'll come onto the left knee, and rather than bringing the hips forward, take the hips back a little bit. Then see if you can come down, and you might want to use your block here, so it might be that we bring the elbows onto the block. Left elbow, and then right. If you want to come off your back knee, by all means, you can come off that, but if you prefer to have it down, keep the left knee down. Okay, deep breaths here, strong posture this one, so you might start to feel some of that heat that we get in yoga where nothing's happened in your external environment, that heat is all coming from within. Near there. 3 more breaths. Okay, see if you can just go a little bit lower now, just for these last 2. Don't force anything, but just see if you could go just a little bit deeper. Okay, and very slowly, when you're ready, come up onto your hands. If your block is there, then just push it over to one side. Okay, take your right arm back forward again, this right knee is also facing forward. And then sweep this right hand back. Now, you've got the palm facing down. You're going to turn your palm to face up so that this shoulder rolls more in. So a bit of an internal rotation there. And then you should find that your hand just can sweep then behind the back. Okay, so it goes between the shoulder blades. We can either stay here, just getting that little bit of a stretch there in the bicep, or we can start to lift. And as you lift, make sure you press into that right heel. Take your left arm up, and then you drop that hand back, and hopefully you get to find either a bit of clothing or maybe your fingers. If you know you're kind of wobbly through transitions, stay there. Otherwise, come off your back knee. So we're off that left knee. And again, you could stay there, or you can go into that incline, remember that, where you come forward, and all you do from there is shift the weight and lift up your left leg. So I want to lift the right thigh, lift that left leg a little bit higher. Notice how you communicate with yourself here. So when we go into balances, we usually either, kind of feed into the ego a little bit where it's like, oh, I'm really good at this, or we start telling ourselves we're rubbish. We shouldn't be even doing it. So just make sure you're communicating nicely. Okay, and then we step back. Okay, and then you release the hands, reach the arms up, big breath in. And exhale, I know that leg is on fire. Come down and just have a little bit of a stretch. Use your blocks here if you need to, okay? Just come off this knee and stretch out that right leg, okay? Forward and back. With the foot. Okay, and then I would maybe give it a shake out and down dog. So as you come back, you sweep your right leg back and just give it a bit of a shake. Now you've got an option here to move through a vinyasa or just stay in down dog, okay? Whatever, if you want to come forward, lower down, inhale, lift, and exhale, exhale back. Okay, from here, left side, inhale the left leg up, lift up the right heel to make that leg nice and strong and stable. Okay, see if we can lift that leg a little bit higher. And then place that foot to the inside again. Now the left thumb. Stay off that back heel, so low lunge there. Or we can start to come up into that high lunge, reaching the arms up. You can stay there, or we can inhale, exhale, turn to the left. Optional now to lean back, so lifting up that right arm. Okay, we're going to sweep that hand around and then sweep back with this leg. Inhale to come forward, come up. Exhale, turn to the left. Inhale, lift up the right arm. Make sure you lift out of your lower back as you lean back. Keep that bend in that left leg. And then exhale. Sweeping that left arm back. So you're taking that left leg straight. One more time. Inhale. Exhale to turn. Inhale to lift. And then exhale. Now come down. Right hand, sweep the left arm back. Draw the left toes back. Okay, and then come forward, taking that hand to the inside, and we'll heel toe the left foot over. That's it. Rocking forwards and back. Excuse me. Side to side. Okay, just coming down onto the right knee to begin with. Bring the pelvis back. Use your block here if this is your tightest side. So you can get onto the right elbow, and then the left. Try and avoid going over to one side here. See if you can sort of remain facing forward. If you want to come off that right knee by all means, but keep that leg nice and strong. Shoulder blades draw down the back. So particularly when the posture starts to kind of shake us a little bit, it goes a bit intense, just notice what your mind tries to do. And I think it's much more challenging for us all now. We're at home because you can do whatever you want. You could turn me off, you could go out the room. There's all these things where we can create aversion, but just see if you can stay. I know it's getting intense, but breathe into that intensity. It's not a physical pain that's going to hurt you. It's intense stuff that's coming up. It's held tension. And with that, you know, we get a heat, we can feel, we get feelings, emotions, and sometimes we don't want to go into them. You're nearly there. It's going to pass in a couple of breaths. Okay, now come down onto your knee if you're off it. Just take your time, big breath in. Exhale, come up onto the hands, rocking side to side there. Just bring that left foot in a bit more, so it's a bit more in line with the hip. Now we're going to reach that left arm forward, sweep it up. As it sweeps back behind you, roll the shoulder in so the palm turns to face up, and then take that hand between the shoulder blades. And again, you're welcome to stay there. We can start to come up. Right arm reaches up. See if you can make some kind of connection. If you do connect, don't pull. So don't want to pull the joints. It's a nice big stretch. Maybe lean the head back. Optional to come off your right knee. Okay, and optional again to come into that sort of slight angle and then lift up that right leg. Trying not to headbutt the wall. Okay, so make sure you're nice and strong in that standing leg. Deep breaths. Okay, and if you're there, step back, release the arms, reach up, big breath in. Exhale, just coming down now. Again, I know that left leg's on fire, so we'll just take that leg straight. And hands can be higher here. You don't have to come as far down, that's it, good. Breathe in. Okay, and then we're going to shake that leg out and down dog. So let's just come back, have a little bit of a shake. Again, place that leg down, staying down, we'll come to child's pose, move through a vinyasa. You've got 3 options there. Exhaling back. So we all meet back in that downward facing dog. Now just allow your knees to come down for a moment and do come into child's pose, hips to heels. You can always bring the hands back so it's more relaxed. Head down for a moment. Just re-establish that connection with the breath. So you might have forgotten all about that. Make sure your forehead, the space between the brows, is connected and rested to something. It's very calming when we bring that part of the head down and bring a little bit of weight, so we rest it onto something. Awareness on your breathing. Feel that breath swell around the back of the rib cage, front of the rib cage. Okay, take 2 more. Okay, now from your child's pose, you're going to walk your hands back and we're going to come up. Knees are going to stay apart, but the toes are going to be together. So we're going to come into this variation of Vinyasa. So walk the hands back and come up. Let me just come forward a bit so I can make sure you can see me. You'll balance more onto your toes, the balls of the feet, and the knees want to go out now. So not Vinyasa where the feet are quite wide, the feet want to be together here. Hopefully you can see that. And we're either sort of balancing, you know, here, or we can start to get a little bit lower. So you bend the elbows, you're going to take them down because they're going to go sort of towards the shins. And you try and get quite low. So as you're getting low, there's a bit of traction on the spine because you're reaching the pelvis and hips back towards the floor. But then we start to reach the chest towards the mat and the crown of the head forward. And just going as low as you feel you can get, and you can still keep your balance. Squeeze your heels together, knees out. Okay, now from there, so you can still hold Malasana, you can come and sit down if you want to, otherwise from this position you're in a perfect place. If you do have a real fear of falling, I would just put cushions or something in front of you, so just remove that fear and then have a go, okay? So elbows, upper arms are coming onto the shins there, so the elbows are going out slightly. Your hands want to come down, you're going to then lift. All you do is lift your pelvis. Now don't look right back, otherwise you know you'll roll forward and that's how you fall out of this. And we don't want to do that. So fingers spread wide on the hands. Make sure you're drawing the energy into Samanava U is the centre of the body. So we want to engage and lift up through Mula Bandha, which is pelvic floor, Uddiyana Bandha, navel to spine. You just bring one heel up, so I've got one foot down. You can keep doing that and swap. So my elbows are on the back of my arms, my upper arms, my triceps. Once I've got one heel up and I feel quite stable, drawing again to the centre of the body, otherwise you're going to push all the weights into the joints. It's that big breath in. As you exhale, draw everything in. Think of that breath that we did at the start of the practice. You're not sucking the belly in as much, but it's that feeling of drawing all the energy into the centre rather than dumping into the joints. And then draw the heels up. You can maybe start to think about straightening the arms. That's really hard. Looking forward, having a little play for a moment. If anybody wants to extend a leg back, do a jump back, there's all these different sort of variations that you can do. Okay, and then just come down for a moment. So if you have jumped back and moved through a vinyasa and you're in down dog, just come down, sit back, and then go through, just to release any tension, roll, get interlace the fingers and roll. Through the wrist. Okay, press the palms away, reach the arms up, do a little one-handed clap, is it good? And then give me a little wave. And then just like a ragdoll, just shake all that tension out of your wrists. Shake it all out. Okay, so we're going to come back forward now, back into downward facing dog. So come back up onto your hands and knees. Again, fingers spread wide, tuck your toes and lift the pelvis and send the weight of that pelvis back towards the back of the mat. Okay, one more little flow here and we're going to come into another balance. So we're going to inhale the right leg up. Lift now the left heel, squeeze your left thigh, lift that right leg a bit higher, squeeze the belly in, big breath in. Exhale, knee. So use your tummy, draw that knee forward. Inhale, extend that leg back. Exhale, knee. Comes in. Just one more. Inhale. And exhale. Place the foot forward. Stay off your back heel. Again, hold there. So if you're holding there, you're reaching your right shin forward, left heel back. Otherwise, press into your right heel. Inhale, reach up. Know what you're doing here, because you're going to turn towards the right. We're going to lift the left arm. See if you could tap the back of that right thigh. Lift. Lift it out of your lower back. Don't go into it. Bend that right knee a bit more. Now, as if you're going to spiral, but you're going to bring the left hand down and then sweep. Keep the right knee bent now and take this right arm up and then lean back as if you're leaning towards an imaginary wall. Don't just bring the arm back, lean more the back of the head and the chest, crown of the head reaches forward. Optional to stay there or come onto the little toe side of both feet, so you're turning more towards the right corner of the mat. Bring the hips down, arm down, and then lift. Hold in that other side lunge if you're there. Lower down, lift, keep that back leg, left leg nice and strong. One more. And then lift. Okay, now come back around. Now take a block or a book or something, okay? Because I really want you to focus on keeping your hand on the floor and using the strength in the arms to create this rotation, okay? You're going to step your back foot in just a couple of inches. You want to ideally be able to straighten the legs. Don't have to go all the way to straight, but just as far as you can take them. Your block is going to go to the inside or the outside of your right foot, whatever you prefer. Outside is harder, okay? So from there, we lift the chest, you sweep the right hip back. You've got this triangle shape, Pavadita Trikonasana, triangle pose, but we're revolving. So the left hand now comes onto the block, to the inside of the outside of the foot. Spread the fingers wide, press down. Breathe in, use this right hand on the left side of the rib cage and start to turn. Sweeping the left hip back, turn a bit more. Now press down nice and strong for that left arm and use that to turn you as you bring your right hand up. Sweeping the right hip back. Get a deep breath. And start to get a little bit strong now. And yeah, make sure you're pressing into that back foot. Nice strong legs. Nearly there. Okay, and then bring that hand back down from there. You can just push the block forward. Stepping back. You inhale, either go straight into down dog or child's pose. Exhale if you want to lower down. Inhale for lift. And then exhale. Exhaling back. Okay, last side now before we come into that balance. We're going to inhale the left leg up, lift the right heel. Lift that leg nice and high, deep breath in. Exhale, bring that knee forward. Inhale, extend that leg nice and long behind you, and then exhale, knee comes forward, use your tummy. One more, big breath in. And exhale. Place that foot forward. Stay off your back heel again here. We can come up. We can breathe in, exhale, turn to the left. If you want to lift and lean back, lean back. Okay, now as you come down, you're going to keep the left knee bent, remember. So you're coming down like you're spiraling the arms. Your right hand stays down, and we inhale, take the left arm up. Stay here, or you come onto the little toe side of both feet. The hips lower down, so does the arm. And then we inhale, back up. Yeah, 2 more. And then 1 more, big breath in. And exhale. And then come back around from there. Take your block to the inside or the outside of the left foot. Block or book. Make sure you can get the back heel down. So it's a little bit of a shorter stance. You can probably see there. You're drawing the left hip back. We're going to take now the right hand to the inside or outside on your block. Breathe in. Use your left hand to bring the right side of the rib cage over to the left a bit more. Sweeping the left hip back. When you're ready, deep breath in again. Exhale, press really firmly into your right arm. And then come into that Pavadita Trikonasana, revolving round in triangle pose. Doing really well. Breathe and know it's strong. And also you're trying to keep your balance here. So there's a lot for the mind to kind of take in. There's a lot going on. Really well done, everyone. Okay, now bring that hand down. Push your block forward. Okay, and then last time, step back. So we can either go straight back down dog, you can move through your vinyasa, inhale, and then exhale. Exhaling back, downward facing dog. Just take a really big breath in. And do one of these, sigh out, or you could breathe in and do a that kind of sigh, or out the lips, just so you get rid of any kind of tension around the face, the jaw. Okay, and then from there, bring the feet, walk or jump. Hop up. Inhale to lift. Exhale. Slowly come all the way up. Big breath in. And exhale. Hands down. Give everything a little bit of a shake. Okay, we're going to come into a balance. So I'll show you what you're going to do. So you get the visual first, and then you'll know. And with all these, pranayas are like the levels or the layers, the stages to each posture. There's a stage to go into, and then you progress, and then you progress, and you keep going until you get there. So whatever kind of stage you're at, it doesn't matter. It's not a competition. Just do what you can. Okay. So we want to bring. I don't know why I brought that up here. Bring your feet a little bit wider than the hips. Okay. All right, and then from there, we're going to come back down. So do you remember when we did this? So that the right hand was down, and we brought the left arm up. So you could go back into that, okay, without using the block. The other option now is to take this right hand, bend your knees again, and take the arm under. So the arm wants to roll in. Do you remember that movement? It's rolling, the shoulder rolls in, and then we can take, and it's nothing forceful, because that movement for some people can cause issues if you've already got a shoulder that's very rolled in. So don't want to force that and bear weight onto it, just let it naturally roll in and then come around. Your hand is there. And then you can stay there, you know, you're there, okay? Otherwise, we can bind. You could use a belt here, you know, if you've got a belt. You then bring your weight to the left. So from that bind, you have the option of straightening the legs again. You don't have to come up, otherwise the weight goes to the left, drag the right foot, press into your left heel, and then come up. Come up, come up, come up. Once you're up, we kick out. Okay, and we want to try and lift the chest. So now you have to be careful, because the weight of that leg is pulling my shoulder down. That's not what we want to do. Lift the chest. Just go to where it feels it's enough, okay? And then we come back down, and then I would always just do a little shake out, whatever you need to do, and then we'll do the other side, okay? So let's do that together, if you weren't doing that already. Feet a bit wider than the hips. Right hand comes down, right knee is bent, and you can come into this with the left leg straight. Otherwise, bend both knees, let your right shoulder roll in, sweep that hand behind, it goes under the hamstrings, and your hand is the palm is facing out. You've got your hand on the back of your hip, okay? Maybe stay there, have a go at straightening the legs, otherwise find your bind. Stay there, straighten the legs, or drag your right foot to your left, push into your left foot, sit, and then come up. It's a tricky bit, isn't it? Now watch when you come up there, you're not pulling that shoulder too far forward. You need to loosen your grip, just loosen it and lift the chest more. Okay, so don't let the focus be on straightening the leg, let it be on lifting the chest. I'm going to come and have a look at you now and see if anyone's having a cup of tea or we're just giving a pull together. Okay, good. Excellent. Okay, and then come back down from there. So have that little shake out, catch hold, rocking side to side. You can always shake the arms, shake the hands. If you just need, again, that kind of ragdoll, just get rid of any tension around the shoulders, the arms, wrists. Okay, and then we're going to go to the other side. Feet a bit wider than the hips. Again, left hand down, right arm up. It's a nice version. Okay, otherwise you can bend the knees, roll the left shoulder in, let it go behind. Stay there, maybe catch your hand. Stay there with the knees bent, straighten your legs, still maybe turn to the side if that's what you want to do. If not, drag the left heel in. You're going to have one leg, my left leg's not quite as stable, so it's a real effort there now to push down and find that stability. You have to really drive into your heel, that helps. Lift the chest, keep your leg like that, or straighten. So driving into that heel, coming all the way up. Well done. Okay, and then when you're ready, slowly come back down. Bird of paradise. So it's just a bit, you can see all the different layers to that. It's quite a It's not an easy posture to come into, so rocking side to side, again just releasing any tension. Okay, and then just bring your feet more in line with your hips and just slowly come up. Your head is down there for a while. Just come up, all the way up, roll the shoulders back. Stand at the top of your mat. And either bring the hands to the heart, or we're going to take the hands down, palms face forward, standing tall. And close the eyes or soften the gaze. And just notice the effects of that posture. It's really challenging for the brain. There's so much going on with where's my hand, you know, where do I need to shift the weight. Notice the effects physically in the body, but also kind of mentally, emotionally, how that may have challenged you. Okay, and then take a really big deep breath in. Exhale all the air out. Bring the palms together. We're just going to move through Vinyasa. So what you're going to do is reach your arms up. Exhale, little bend in the knees as you fold. You can step straight back into down dog. You can come forward. You can always just bring the knees down and come down this way if you want to. If your shoulders have had enough by this point. And then just come back into child's pose there. Hips to heels. Have a moment there. Okay, now let yourself just walk your hands back. Hands are coming back from here. We're going to come to lie down in a moment, so if anybody needs to pop extra layers on, then do that. But now just come around and face, preferably the long side of the mat. If that doesn't work with the camera angle, but you're going to come into this position, okay? So just make sure you've got some space where you can see me and you're able to go like this, okay? And then we're going to bring the right heel, who's going to come in towards the pelvis, okay? So right heel comes in. If you need to sit on a block, bring yourself onto a block. So the weight is quite even through to the pelvis and not sat too much onto that right hip. Okay, left leg can come in, but you can take it out a bit more to get that inner thigh stretch. From here, we're just going to inhale, bring the arms up. And then exhale, bring the hands to about shoulder height. Now start to reach towards this left leg and just press the hands. It can go anywhere. You can touch hold of the foot, but it doesn't matter if you're not there. Now use this this right hand just to turn the ribcage a bit more to face up, okay? And then we want to feel that you're really able to kind of ground down and not lift too much through that side. So from the waist down is going down towards the floor, and then from the waist up we start to feel that we're going up, but then we're leaning a bit more towards this side, towards the straight leg. You can stay there, the hand can go there, or we could reach the arm up. There is this thing of catching the foot, and that's, you know, you can do that, but you're trying to look under. And if you feel that starting to pull your back too much, then don't go that far, okay? You can always use your hand to rest onto that thigh. Here is a nice option. We're drawing the elbow back if you're there. Breathe. Every time you breathe out, lean in towards this straight leg. But we've still got the rib cage, and it almost feels like the chest is trying to turn to face up. Lift the lower belly. Okay, and then very slowly, to make sure you draw the tummy as you come up, and then turn now more towards this leg. So we can start to bring this right foot more towards the inside, inner seam of this left leg. Again, make sure you're even on both sit bones. Just bring your hands over that leg, the straight leg, left leg, and turn a bit more, so you're going more towards the side. And then bring yourself to face the leg. Breathe in. Exhale, bend the knee if you need to. Start to ease your way down. So head to knee this one. You can relax the foot forward. You could keep that dorsiflexion there, it's up to you. Head down. Shoulder blades draw down the back of the body. And then come into that forward fold. Remember what I said about bringing the brow, like something, whether the Ajna Chakra, third eye center, get that to rest. Whether it be make a fist to the hands, like an off switch. draw navel to spine, so we're lifting the belly, kind of get used to doing that from there. Now you're going to drop back with your right hand and then inhale, come up onto your right shin as you sweep that arm over. So just opening the front of the pelvis and that forward bend. Good, reach the top hip up and then sweeping back down, and then we'll go and do that same sequence on the opposite side. So bring the opposite heel in. So again, this leg wants to be on a little bit more of an angle. The weight is quite even through your seat. Okay, and then we start to lean towards that straight line. Now use your left hand to turn the ribcage, chest a bit more, the face up, and stay there. Or we can take the arm behind the back of the head but draw the elbow back, or we can inhale, reach straight up and then come over. So if you do catch hold, you're looking under that arm, which is a really deep stretch. You want to rest your right hand onto your right thigh, other thigh, and just inhale. Just let the weight of the head just lean, so there's not too much weight there, just let the head come over to one side. Okay, and again, lifting the toes, always lifting the belly as you come out of there. We'll turn more towards that straight leg now, and then your foot, left foot wants to go more towards the sort of inseam of that leg. Bring both hands over the right leg. We feel like we're trying to get the pelvis more in line with the shoulders, and then we're able to face that leg as you come back. Breathe in. Exhale, little bend in the knee doesn't hurt on the right leg. Always relax the foot, whatever you need to do, and then come down, head to knee. I'm going to make a little thing with the hands, just so the forehead is rested. Okay, and squeeze the belly in. Slowly let yourself come back up, and then we'll bring that left hand down. Inhale, come onto your left shin as you sweep the right arm all the way up. Feel like you're reaching that top hip up. Squeeze your bum a little bit here, so kind of almost tuck under with the tailbone. Okay, love it, and then come back down from there. Well done. Okay. If you want to come into, we'll do supported bridge later when we do the restorative class, but if you do want to come into that now, it might be quite nice to use your block, or if you've got a bolster. We'll come into bridge pose anyway, and if anybody wants to go into wheel, you've got the options, haven't you? So feet hip distance apart. You can take your block onto, remember it's your sacrum, not your lower back, so just rub your bottom and have a little rest there. Okay, so if that feels like nicer options to come into, worked really hard this morning, so it might be nice to take that one. Otherwise, feet hip distance apart, neutral pelvis, there's that tiny curve under your lower back, hands are by your sides. You breathe in. As you exhale, press your feet down so you can lift your pelvis up. When you feel you're at your kind of full range, reach your knees forward, but feel like you're dragging your heels back. So you feel quite strong and stable through the back of the thighs and the hips. And then you've got lots of options here. We're going to stay for 10 breaths. So whether that be on your block, hands by your side, no block, or elbows bent to lift the chest a bit more, or walking onto the shoulders, or taking, if you come into wheel, onto the crown of the head, press down through the hands and feet, but be really strong and stable through the arms, and then lift up. And then take the weight, so whatever's behind you, feel like you're trying to press your chest towards that. So we're opening more into the chest, so there's not loads of weight in the legs. And again, just listen to your body. So it doesn't really matter what you come into here, as long as you're creating a little bit of extension through the spinal column. So supported bridge pose, wheel, whatever you prefer. Last 5 breaths. And if you're coming out of your Vinyasa now. Just tuck your chin, so you kind of fold down, back of the head, upper back, mid back, lower back, and the sacrum. If you're coming out of your bridge pose, again, just fold down like you're coming out of that the way you went in, and then move the block. Now see, there's some really nice moments in yoga, and when you come out of a back bend, people tend to just, you know, rush this little bit. So if you can lie straight, even if you feel, you know, a bit of vulnerability around the sort of spine, the lower back, just give yourself over to that kind of inner body intelligence that everything will find its way back. Take a big breath in, and then breathe inside the breath. And again, inhale. And exhale. Okay, and then stand your feet. We'll go into Apanasana, but just try it this way first. So your arms are quite straight. You bring your knees to your hands, so you keep the arms straight, and then you rock side to side. You have to keep your balance a little bit here. It's a bit like Happy Baby. You'll feel more of a massage across the back of the hips now and the sacrum, which is really nice. So sway from one side to the other. Okay, and then you could bring the knees in and sort of give them a bit more of a closer hug in, perhaps catch hold. The shins, and do it again like rocking. Hold on to your shins. Side to side. Okay, I'm just going to finish with a little bit of an inversion. So that could be legs elevated here. You could bring yourself back onto your block and just have a bit more of a lift. Otherwise, you can broaden the shoulders, shoulder blades, should I say. Shoulders down away from the neck, so you have this gap, curve under the back of the neck. Pelvic tilt, so we lift the pelvis. Bring the legs together and tilt and lift. Okay, and then your elbows come in, half shoulders down, your hands are on your hips, knees can be a little bit bent, quite relaxed. Squeeze the knees together. Otherwise, bring the hands more onto the sort of mid upper back. Don't do this if you've got any neck problems. Elevate your legs instead, that's really nice. Stretch up, press up through the balls of the feet, lift the thighs, squeeze legs together like you're lifting out of the pelvis. And bring those legs diagonally away. So if they're coming towards you, you'll notice there's loads of weight going into the shoulders, and you don't want that. So you want the legs coming a little bit away from you. And that takes a bit of practice, and you need to be in the right position with the pelvis and have some range in the legs as well. So you could almost feel like you're trying to tuck under with the tailbone and then shift the legs up diagonally away from your face. Last few breaths here, about 5 more breaths. Okay, if you're in shoulder stand, you want to just bring those legs over. Just start to ease the legs down so that the feet are coming over your head. So you're going into Halasana plow pose. Take your time, keep squeezing the legs together. Use your adductors, inner thighs. So you really squeeze up through the band of pelvic floor when you do that. And then come onto the toes or the tops of the feet. Again, just observe it. You're not dumping weight into the back of the neck. There's that natural curve there. If you've got your legs elevated, just stay with them up for a few more breaths. Nice to hold that. Okay, and then if you're coming out of Halasana, then you could bring knees to forehead. You could bring the hands down by the sides, lift the legs back up, and then slowly start to lower down. So it's all with control, as much control as you can. So whatever you need to do, but we come back, we end up with our legs elevated like everybody else. And then either come down with straight legs. If that doesn't work for your lower back, just bend your knees and come down. Take the hands down by the side, palms preferably facing up, feet a bit wider than the mat. Take a really big deep breath in. And then exhale out. Now notice how your body feels here. And if you feel that you're ready just to go into Shavasana, into relaxation, grab whatever you need, blankets, eye pillows if you've got those. If you just feel, I want to go back into Apanasana, I want to take a little twist, come into Matsyasana, fish pose, whatever you want to do. Don't rush it though. And just think about how your body feels right now. And then kind of more intuitively go into what you feel you might need. Okay, happy baby is nice as well. Or just stillness, just lie still. And as you come into Shavasana, just make sure that you are comfortable. So make any adjustments that you need to. You want to take a deep breath in and then breathe inside that breath all the way out. And start by taking a body scan. Just bring your awareness to the very top of the head. And very slowly start to shift that awareness down. And just becoming aware of any areas where you might hold tension. And softening into those places. Also the places that we sometimes bypass that we don't want to feel into. Yeah, maybe take a breath into those areas. Yeah, exhaling softly out. Feel that you kind of lean into the exhale. And feel the body begin to relax. And Sally, just stay. I've just read your message. Just stay and enjoy Shavasana. Give yourself over now to these next few moments. This time's just for you. Remind yourself here that there's nothing that you need to do. There really is nowhere to go. Nothing to achieve.
my sock.
Bring your awareness back into this space. Remain quite still. Just that awareness now as you come to the end of your practice, and notice how you feel. Awareness of your body as it rests on the floor, the space that you're in. And just coming back to the chant at the beginning of the practice, the Guru chant. So the deities that are mentioned, Guru Brahma is the creator, Guru Vishnu is the protector, and Guru Devamashwara, that's Shiva, which is the destroyer. So these are all archetypes. These deities are the masculine energy, and not how we kind of see male and female, that we all have the masculine and feminine sides to us. And these archetypes exist within. So we all have the ability to create, to protect. And when they say destroy, it's really to kind of dissolve, what you no longer need. And just take a moment to think if anything like that kind of applies to where you are right now. If you need to bring any of those qualities, when we sing the mantras or we say the mantras, we're really bringing in and embodying those qualities that already exist within us. Quality of creation, creativity, protection, and then that need to sometimes release and to dissolve, to destroy. Okay, and when you're ready, take a deep breath in. Exhale all the air out. Okay, and then when you're ready to move, create a little bit of movement, might be in your fingers, toes. Might want to rock your head side to side. If you feel you want to take a stretch, you can bring the arms up and have a nice big stretch. Okay, and then just bring the knees in and give them a little hug in, and come over to one side when you're ready. And then bring yourself up to any comfortable seated position. Just going to close, so just come into a comfortable seat. Okay, and then bring your hands back. We'll come back into that Padma Mudra because it's a nice one to come into. Do you remember this one where the palms are together and the fingers are extended up? And just think if there's any of those qualities that we mentioned that you want to kind of bring in. You take a moment in contemplation. And then everything that we kind of learn through our practice, whether it's physically in the body or mentally, emotionally, we make these little discoveries. We want to kind of offer that up. So we don't kind of hoard the fruits of our practice. We learn about ourselves and then we can help others. So we kind of offer that up. So take a nice deep breath in, or a big breath in. Exhale the air out. And then reach the arms up as if you're offering that up to a kind of higher place. And then once you're there, bring the palms, the hands together. So Jaya Mudra, the elbows are a little bit bent, the palms are above the head. And again, chanting, if you're not comfortable, just say it to yourself or silently chant or listen. It's Om Shanti Shanti, it's a really simple one. So as we do the Shanti Shanti, you're going to bring the hands back down towards the heart, okay? Deep breath in. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hands resting at the heart, which is our inner teacher, our guru. Okay, and then when you're ready, to let the eyes open towards the hands and bring that gaze forward, and namaste. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Okay. Let me unmute everybody now.